So today what we're going to do is look at, in this instance, the most cited domains. We're looking in this instance at the UK electricals market, and we've done the research already, understanding, well, what are the prompts that people are potentially utilizing in things such as ChatGPT, AI mode, and so on. Now, as you can see here, we've categorized it into computing, home appliances, mobile phones, small appliances, and so on. Now, this gives us a clear understanding about which sites are best performing in which individual categories. So we can really understand, well, which sites are strong and where. What we can also do in the same category is understand which brands are being mentioned the most in which particular areas. Now, if we want to dig into that data, we've got the ability to do so. So if I want to look at the sites that are getting mentioned the most, we get a list of all of the different sites. But we can also plot to see how much each individual site is being mentioned and compare that versus the competitors. But what we can also do is drill down into the individual sites. So if I want to take a look at TechRadar, what it does is identify all of the content that's performing in which particular areas and for which particular prompts. And then we get an understanding about, well, how is their site utilized? And again, in which particular category areas. We can then go one step further than that. So we can actually then start to understand which brands are being mentioned the most, and again, plot those over time versus everyone. But we can now actually start to see the sentiments around each of these brands as well. Now, if I want to focus on a particular brand, in this case Samsung, I can go into there, I can see if their brand mentions are going up or they're going down. But I could also now start to see if like negative sentiment is getting more or positive sentiment is getting more, as well as understanding who is mentioning my particular brand. Now, if you want to dig in to the actual citations around that, and I wanted to look at some of the negative sentiment, well, I could go here, see trustpilotuk.com. I can see there's a review on Samsung. I can open that up and I see exactly at the point where that negative content was said about this particular brand.